All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Lit in English, and this is our season six. Thank you for joining us. In this season six, our title is "Understanding Your Inner Self: Lead Up a Path to Happiness as Whole Being." We have been having such an amazing run this season, and all of that is thanks to you. Thanks for joining us in this journey. And again, in this journey, we are each other fellow journeyer. And thanks to that, I get to express, I get to present, and I get to understand these teaching in a much deeper level. And I have you to thanks for all of that. And today we are going to move to another set of presentation, and I think you will like that a lot. And the presentation is called the 9 types of people. So there are 9 types of people that we need to recognize. We gotta know how to treat them. We have to know how to attract them, and then we gotta know how to become them. And anyone who master the 9 types of people will in complete control of their relational well-being. Extremely important. But before we dive into our presentation today, let's do a quick review on what we did last week and the week before that. And as you have already known, this is a journey, and everything that we have discussed tie to each other. And it is extremely important that we revisit what we have learned so that we can understand the next presentation at a much deeper level. So what we did last week was we introducing the idea of present, of having present. And as you can recall, present is one of the 7 holistic well in the 7 holistic well form. And previously, prior to present, we have learned about wisdom, and we learned that there are 5 realms of wisdom. And to these 5 realms, we recognize that it is very important for us to elevate our understanding to the third realm, because when we get to that third realm, we can very much, uh, I would say, escape from space time. And when that happens, we will have the moment of certain knowledge. And omniscient is the final and the last realm where we reach the pinnacle of wisdom. So getting to the third realm of wisdom is extremely important. And the third realm of wisdom is called the inner emptiness. So what does it mean by inner emptiness? Last week we introduced present, and thanks to the question from Giovanni, we learned that the inner emptiness is pretty much the tunnel right here, where the information come in. We don't let it attach to our emotion. We don't let it attach to our ego, which means that we don't react to the information, as in we don't criticize the information. We simply receive it with our heart. And by doing so, we will create an inner emptiness of emotion and inner emptiness of the ego. And thanks to that inner emptiness, we will be able to reach that inner peace, or I would like to call it being at peace. And I love how the word at peace sound very similar to the word happy. So to me, being at peace is the ultimate uh, happiness. And thanks to the expert. And thanks to all of our wise men, all of the teacher, we got to learn about these amazing knowledge. And once again, when we reach that inner emptiness of the realm of wisdom, it's simpler for us to gain the true meaning of wisdom. And by having rich in wisdom and rich in present, we officially start being in control of our own life. And there's no better way to understand what that means by exploring today's presentation of the night type of people. And I know some of our viewer might have the question that like, hey man, we have 7 holistic wells here. Why don't we go through all 7 of them? Why do we only stop at 2? Um, the reason we are stopping at 2 are because these are the 2 foundational information, and I would rather expand the understanding of wisdom and present through other means. And the next time that we circle back to the journey, let's say for season 7 of Liquid English, we might starting to introduce what mobility is. And again, this is a journey, so there's no need to rush, because we will get there in the best possible karma connection. So let's move on to today's presentation. And here's where I will grab a new piece of paper. If you have some paper and pen, feel free to draw along the way with me. And this is the presentation on the 9 type of people. The 9 type. People. All right. Yeah, so just asking you something you like on Facebook, please. Sure. We are going at it live on Facebook quickly. See the chat requesting. Type the title quickly. So sometime I don't live on Facebook just so people can be proactively joining the call. Let's see if we do have a request today. I just live from Jasmine real quick, because I know there are people who are interested in viewing, but they just don't have the means to join the Zoom call. So that is fine. And that's your permission for sending this live stream to Facebook Live. All right, let's continue. Now, where we are right now is extremely, extremely important. And the 9 types of people can help us understand different depth of wisdom and presence. So that is our focus. Well, just imagine that there are different levels of wisdom, different people at different realms of wisdom, and of course, different people at different dimension of presence. So because of that, we will learn about the nine type of people. And through that, we can see a different realm, different dimension of wisdom and presence those people are at. And these nine people are extremely important in our lives. And today we are doing a quick introduction on these nine people. And I'm planning to dive into a much deeper detail for the upcoming presentation. Potentially, I will break this down to 7 presentation on these nine people. So the first type of people that we need to recognize is called a wise person. This could be a wise man or a wise or women. But let's just write down about the first person that we need to recognize is called a wise person. All right, for those who have read the book Cultivate Happiness, Master Life, you will notice the conversation between the wise man and the girl. So a wise person is, by definition, it's simply someone who gives us a concept, a lesson, or an understanding from which our perception rises above any arising problems. All right. So in the past, I thought that a wise person would be a mysterious person who live in the mountain, who give out like wise advices to people. But a wise person can just be simply described as someone who gives us a concept, a lesson, or an understanding from which our perception rises above the arising problems in life. Extremely important because a wise person, they might appear for like a couple of minutes in your life. Sometime, if you are lucky, they might stay with you for a longer period. But anyone can be a wise person. For example, I've learned the principle of light, and just that's one idea of how to get darkness outside of the room. And the answer was simply turn on the light. Just that lesson alone can help me stand above so many problems that arises in life. So the ability of recognizing a wise person can greatly support you in your life. And by the way, all nine types of people are extremely people in your life. And the reason we giving out description of these people so that you can start recognizing them. And once you start recognizing them, you will receive a lot more blessing from these nine types of people. And this is extremely important because just imagine driving down the road or driving down the freeway, for example. Have you ever had the experience where you happen to really like a car? Let's say you really like a Tesla Cybertruck, for example. All of a sudden, when you start driving down the road, you start noticing that Cybertruck are everywhere. And it's always been like that, but just wasn't in your conscious mind that they was there. But the second that you started to noticing it in your mind, you start seeing it in real life. So the nine types of people are similar in that way because the second that you become conscious of it, you started to attract more and more. And each of these people when they come to your life, they will present an immeasurable gift to you. So that is the entire purpose of us recognizing the night type of people. So again, a wise person is someone who give us a concept, a lesson, or an understanding from which our perception rises above any arising problem in life. The second um, type of people that I would like to introduce is called a noble person. A noble person is someone who help us in some aspect or a period of our life. All right. So if someone show up in your life and help you out in some aspect or a period of your life, that person is a noble person to you. And in our life, we have three type of noble person. There's the grand noble person who help in all aspect of our life, and that could be someone like our parent, right? For a loving parent who gave us life, who will take care of us when we was young, and continuing supporting us even when we get older. And I used to watch the way my grandma interact with my father when she was still alive, and it was fascinating of how my father is way more successful, is way more uh, capable compared to my grandma. But in the eyes of my grandma, my father is always a son to her, and she always tried her best to support my father in his entire life. She always there with him. So a grander, noble person is someone who is there for you for a very long periods of your life, maybe your entire life. And an average noble person would be the one who help you one part in your life. They might show up for a period and they help you out greatly, but they just move on to a different path, and you might never see them again. In my life, I do have many people who I would call my best friends because they truly are my best friend. We understood each other, we support each other, but eventually I have to move away, but they have to move away. They have to deal with different business venture, and then our life got separated. But in our heart, like they are still a great friend, and and they definitely helped me in one part of my life. And then last but not least, we have a minor noble person, and that is a person who helped you in a small part of your life. Maybe your car break down one day, and a noble person would stop and help you change the tire, or maybe they can help call an emergency service to help you out. And it is important for us to recognize a noble person or noble people in our lives so that we can give our gratitude, our appreciation to them. And this is important because in life, people tend to not treating the grander noble people properly, and people tends to be very thankful to the minor noble people. For example, when your car break down and a stranger come and help you change your tires, and you are so thankful of that, You might keep telling the story of how a stranger helping you changing the tires of your car. But sometimes like we forget that our parents, someone who literally gave us lives and support us our entire lives, they they provided so much for us, but we take it for granted, and we might not be considerate to the way they feel. And I am guilty of this as well, to be very honest. My parents are amazing. They have been supporting me greatly, and sometimes I took it for granted. But thanks to the reminder of the lesson of the noble person, I cast myself in between the act of taking things for granted, and I've learned to say thank you, to say how much I love my parents more often compared to before. And it is extremely important for us to recognize this, because we have learned about um, karma, right? How we have total karmic knowledge of affinity result, and how we want to cultivate good karma and radiant karma, and avoiding bad karma. The trap that most people got stuck in is that they treat their grander noble people poorly because they took things for granted, and they make the grander noble people sad or upset. And that is not a good way, because it will affect our bad karma and their bad karma, even though the two love each other so much. So the noble person lesson help remind us to do good and to do well in life. Now, the third the third type of people is extremely important as well. Pretty much these nine type of people very important, and but each of them play a different role in our life that we need to be able to recognize them. So the next type of people is one of my favorite, and it is called a well connected um, connected person. I'm not going to write the word person here. So someone is very well connected. For example, have you ever heard of the expression of "I know a guy who know a guy who know a guy"? As in, it is not about what you know; it is all about who you know. So a well-connected person is a person who have a network of very high quality um, connection, and that is the person who, whatever you whatever problem that arise in your life, where you need an expert, where you need someone to take care of it, you know that if you were to call that one friend, that one well-connected person, he or she would know who to call, who to ask for help. And a well-connected person is the focal point of their social relationship. They are the owner of a network of very credible and very high quality relationships. And they are the one with a very influential voice. Well, in my life, I'm very lucky to match some very well-connected people in today's world. Some might call they are social influencer, right? Because they have a very large network, and they can influence a large mass of, of people. But in our definition, the well-connected person is different from a social influencer. A well-connected person stand above that. as in the people that they know is very, very high quality. And it is said that the world is operating, the world is running by well-connected people. They would be king, queen, they would be generals of the past, they would be a CEO of company, maybe CEO of many, many different company, or they could just simply the head of the family. They can simply um, the captain of a small group of people. And there are different levels of well-connected uh, people, but just know that a well-connected person is someone who hold a lot of value. And by recognizing these people in your life, you will be able to utilize the social network of the well-connected person. Extremely, extremely important. And it is very true, the quote that they say of how it is not about what you know, it's all about who you know in in this life. And once you own a quality network, uh, you can move through life very easily, very simply. All right. Um, we got three so far. Let me check the time. Making sure we have time for discussion. All right. We'll try to move a little bit faster through this, and we can open up for discussion. And again, we will go into detail of what each of these people do, how to attract them, how to treat them, how to become these nine types of people. And the secret is you want to be nine in one. You will be a great, great, amazing being when you can be all nine types of people, nine in one, pretty much. Right. So the fourth one is a blessed person. A blessed. Let's see, blessed with the a blessed person. A blessed person is very, very interesting. And in the past, I wasn't aware of these type of people. But just like the word described, they are very, very blessed. As in whatever they do, everything turned out smoothly. They might not be the smartest person in the room. They might not be the most talented person, but somehow everything just turned out beautifully for them. Most importantly, when they are around you, it seems like everything going smoothly, right? You're making more money when they are around. When some problem comes up and you come talk to them, problem just seem to be solved and without any explanation. And at this point, we not going to explain why that is. Just know that there are many, many blessed people in the world around us, and they themselves might not realize this. They might not realize that they are a blessed person, but they can notice the energy and how their surrounding change when they appear. And this can be explained by certain people in a company. They can't really do the job right, but the boss just love to put them there, just to have them there, because when they are there, everything seems to work out amazingly. Or if you can make an observation in your family, for example, let's say when a niece or a nephew, better yet, maybe even your own child, right? When your son or your daughter was born, you noticed a shift in your life. a ship in like life getting easier. You get a lot more blessing. You seem to make more money for no reason. Opportunity started to present itself. You become brighter somehow. You just gains a lot of wisdom when they appear, and life just become unusually smooth. And that is the importance of a blessed person. And it is said that there are people who are blessed with wisdom, and then there are people who are blessed with presence. What that means is when you are around them, you it's easy for you to elevate your realms of wisdom. Or when they are around, it's easier for you to reach inner peace or gain a higher dimension of presence. So a blessed person is very, 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 very cool, very, very interesting. And in the next episode, I think we will dive in much deeper. And the blessed person is all about energy for those of you who are interested, who study energy. Just know that a blessed person full of very high energy, extremely, extremely high. All right. The next type of person is a talented, talented, talented person or people. It would be great if you have many, many talented people around you. And talented person or talented people is defined by those who are supporting you. They are very capable and they benefit in you, right? And the key word here is benefiting you, helping you in some aspects of your life. So they are not your talented person unless they are helping you. There are many, many talented people in the world, but they are not in your team, right? They are not your player. And the worst thing is they are your enemy, uh, talented people, then they are definitely not your talented people. For example, let's say you work for company A and company A is in competition with company B. So even though a person can be very talented in that field, but if they were to work for company B, then they are not your talented people. But if they working for company A, where you are the CEO, then they are your talented person. So simply put, talented person is someone who take care of some aspect in your life or in your project. And the importance of recognizing talented people is because they will make your life much easier. You need them in order to materialize your project, your vision. So extremely, extremely important to recognize talented people in your life. Now, um, I think there are one more that let me see. Great master. Okay. So the next one is called the Great Master. And I'm just going to what Great Master. And as you can see, we are entering a different realm of the recognition of people. All right, so Great Master is someone who had dreamed so large that when you follow in a great master, he will help you fulfill your dream. His journey is a lot grander than yours. He has the ability and he accept to take you under his wing, to take you under his umbrella, to nurture you. And there's a great relationship between talented person and great master. In ancient kingdom, great master would need a lot of different talented people, and talented students would go and seek for a master so that they can serve under, and for thousands and thousands, if not millions and billions of years. The relationship between the talented people and great masters with an S of the people who shape history, who shape the entire world itself. They're very ambitious, and their dream is usually huge. For example, Alexander the Great would consider to be one of the great master. His vision is to conquer the known world at that time. He had many followers, and he was able to accomplish a grander dream in a much grander scale that nobody else can even dare to think of, but he did it, right? In the unification of China, there are many great masters who had the dream to unify the great mainland of China so they can end it war, so people can live in harmony. And because of that big vision, because of that dream, they attracted many talented people. And in fact, a great master, the one with really big dream, they tend to be able to attract all five of the previous type of people to supporting them, to help them realize their dream, to materialize their dream. They would have the wise person to give them concept lesson or understanding so that they can materialize their dream. They have noble people to come and help them. They have well-connected people who providing them a network of connection. They have less people around them to bless them, to give them good karma. And most important, they have talented people. They have their general and their amazing soldier to help support their cause. So you want to be a great master to your children. That will be the best journey, right? And it's not as simple as telling your children that, hey, you can call me a great master or you can follow in me. It is important that in the eyes of your children, they see you as their great master, because all of their dream can be fulfilled when they walk behind you. They trust that they can learn everything they needed to learn from you. They rely on you. Okay. In happiness studies, we've learned that the maturity of a child is when they started to be more independent to their environment. In great relationship, we want people to be dependent with each other. We want people to supporting each other. And the more we can increasing the dependency of two or more people, then the relationship quality will increase as well. So imagine that you are able to lead your children. You have a dream where if they were to help you, if they can become a talented people to you, helping you materialize your dream. And in that journey, by doing that, they fulfill their own dream. That is like the most beautiful thing. anyone can do, anyone can build with their children. And I trust that you will be able to do that. All right, we have three more, so I think we would do it fine in my timeline of less than 60 minutes, so we can discuss the remaining of the presentation. Now, the last three are extremely uh, complex. But at this point, I just want you to understand it at a very simple manner. Because when I first learned about this, I thought to myself that there is no way that there is a great master out there, right? But there are. And the next three type of people might stand above a great master, even though the name calling is very simple. All right, so the next uh, type of people in the nine is called the expert. Just when I go ahead and write this because there are many experts. All right. So the experts simply define that they are the people who can simplify a complex matters for us. Now, what does this mean? This means that the focus of the experts lies in simplicity, right? So when you are able to make a complicated problem simple, then that will make you an expert. There are many self-proclaimed experts out there, and let me tell you, they are not expert. They think that they are expert, but they are not, because in my definition, they have to be able to make something very complex to a simple matter. All right, I would call, let's say, Elon Musk and SpaceX experts, the real experts, because they solved some of the biggest problem out there, right? How to how to reuse a rocket, how to shoot it up to space and then land it on the ground unharmed. That is amazing. That is a very big problem to solve, and they did it. What about electric car for Tesla? It's a big problem, but they did it. They did it beautifully. So what about a dentist, right? Would you rather um, an expert who can fix it in a matter of minutes, or do you want a dentist who take a month or maybe years to not even solve the problem, right? So experts sometimes they get paid a lot because they are able to solve problem in a very simple manner. And in this way, you are becoming an expert in the inner world through this journey, right? Because you got to learn about the principle of light, and then the principle of super circle of knowledge and all of that. The three reference system. Pretty much you simplify different way of looking at life, and you are in this way an expert. And of course, there are deeper meaning, but just for the purpose of today's presentation, we will just start with that. Now, the next one is I'll call it a teacher. It could be male or female teachers. And I will write teacher with a capital S as well, but there are many teachers. The definition of teacher is beyond what we commonly know as teacher, because teacher can mean like teacher in high school or middle school or kindergarten. So they are great, they are amazing, but the word teacher that we use here goes beyond just teaching at the school level. In the past, in a distant past, a teacher is truly someone can help guiding you through life. Teacher are people who have the power to move an entire industry. So true teacher, it would be someone like Apple, would be someone like Tesla, because they are able to fulfill three very important area in life. That is production, business, and education. Okay. So if you look at the success of Apple and Tesla compared to every other company or every other area in life or in the world, you will see the difference between them with everyone else. Apple was able to produce their own product, right? They can start a business where they can sell their product and services. And most importantly, the third element, education, they have the ability to educate their consumer on their product and services. You might not see it that way, but they are doing very good in all three areas. And those are the real teacher of the world. They materialize the needs of people in field that they didn't even know. And they do that in a very simple, but not simple way through production, business, and education. We will dive into a much deeper uh, meaning about what it is to define online type of people. And not only that, we will show you how to treat them, how to attract them, and how to become them. Because ultimately, we want to be 6 in 1 or 9 in 1, depending on where we at, right? The first step would be all 6 in 1, which means we want to be a wise person, a noble person, a well-connected person, a blessed person, a talented person, a great master. 6 in 1. And then when we uh, when we got to that level, we're gonna elevate ourselves even further, and we want to become an expert, a teacher, and most importantly, out of the 9, we want to be an enlightened teacher. Enlightened. An enlightened teacher. So what do I mean by enlightened teacher? That is people who help others reach enlightenment, reach awakening. Those are the people who can simply help people elevate their inner wisdom to the third, the fourth, and even the fifth realm of wisdom. Those are the people who can help people, others, we have a more powerful presence. And the enlightened teacher are the one who can help people materialize the all seven holistic well. And of course, there are different type of enlightened teacher. For example, we have human view, we have the world view, and we have cosmic view, right? So an enlightened teacher in human view would have the capability to help people understand more about the human life, about each of our interactions, learn about our psychology, our inner understanding. An enlightened teacher in worldview would have the ability to teach you about the world around you, the different wonder of the world, and would have a lot of information on how the world works. And last but not least would be the enlightened teacher in cosmic view. So they will help you have a greater understanding of how this universe works, how everything interact with each other. And these are the introduction to the 9 type of people. In the next presentation, we will dive into a much greater detail of who the wise people are, right? How to recognize them, and then how to treat them, how to attract them, how to attract them to us, and most importantly, how to become them. And by understanding these 9 types of people, we will have a greater understanding of different dimension of presence, of different realms of wisdom, and many other things that we introduce in this journey. I think a pretty good job to introduce all of this within 60 minutes. The next uh, 30 minutes to be open for interaction. So feel free to raise your hand and share with us what you think. If you have any question, feel free to ask. If you have any thing you find interesting, actionable, and meaningful in this, feel free to share with us as well. I see Jasmine, raise your hand. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Hi Ben, hi Giovanni and everybody. So at first I got confused because I thought like the race master is the enlightened um master. But like after that when you like go to the last person I went okay, got it. Um but at the same time, what difference between the Ray Master and Enlightened? Because you talking about the spiritual side, but you can you explain more? Thank you.
Sure. So the great master is simply be defined of someone who have a dream, and their dream is in a much grander scale compared to yours. And it doesn't have to be something big, right? You can be a great master to your children, because let's say they want to be able to read. So let's say they are 5 years old and they really want to be able to read. And you yourself, not only you are able to read, but you are working on your next best-selling book. So your goal, your dream is beyond your son or daughter dream, which is just simply wanting to read, right? The enlightened teacher would be the one who can help you elevate your understanding of human view, of the world view, of cosmic view, or to simply put, an enlightened teacher can help you elevate your wisdom to each realm of wisdom. So there's the wisdom there. A great master can be an enlightened teacher if we are to discuss the past to enlightening or the past to awakening. So they can be interchangeable, but there is a unique difference between each and every one of these nine type of people. And remember, the goal is to become nine in one. I don't know if I answer so your question. That's
Yes, you just remind me the difference between the right master and enlightened person. Um, yes,
okay.
thank you.
All right, thank you. I see Giovanni raise his hand as well. Feel free to unmute yourself, Giovanni.
Hey Ben, hey Jasmine, hey everybody. So I wrote like five whole pages of like notes that I wrote. So I don't know how much time you want me to take here, but kind of go to Jasmine's question real quick. Is what I wrote here is that a great master would have a deep knowing, they would have wisdom, and they would have mastery of a subject, but they will also have a high level of realization, whereas the enlightened person has reached an awakening already, and they have a direct experience with their true nature. So it's just it can be used interchangeably, but there's only like the connotations are only like very small. So one, like the great masters can be enlightened, but most great masters are either experts in their field or they're teachers on their way to becoming enlightened. So it's not until you have an awakening of your own and a realization of your true nature that you can become enlightened. I hope that kind of makes sense of it. And this right here kind of piqued my interest because, as you know, Ben, I've been reading more about the Ramayana and the Hindu tradition, with Sri Ram, who was the avatar of Vishnu, the creator of the world, who came here. And I told you about Hanuman, who was very attached, I would say, to Sri Ram, you know, because he understood who he was. And in that Hindu epic, the antagonist in there, his name is Ravana, and Ravana was very dedicated to the Hindu lord Shiva. So he had both good qualities and bad qualities. And Brahma, the creator, came to him and said, you know, I'll grant you anything. I can't grant you immortality, you know, but what I can grant you is that, you know, no God can touch you, you know, day and night can't touch you, all this other stuff. And so he blessed him with 10 heads, which I thought was weird until today, right? I didn't know what the significance of those 10 heads were. And what I see is that the 10 head includes the 9 different types of people, which we all have a portion of these people in us. But the 10th one is us, the observer, the one who actually, you know, creates and manifests and also observes everything. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then let's see, I wrote so much here. I also wrote here that kind of going with the 9 types of people, that all of these people can appear in our life as us at any point in time. Appearance is only limited to the range of our perception, how we think of ourselves. So if we have a low range of perception, we won't reach you know, ourselves as a wise person. And I wrote here that a wise person knows that they can control only their actions and has no control over the reactions to those actions. So to kind of give you an idea, let's just say, Ben, that you were interested in baking, right? And you wanted to bake cookies for your friend. So what you do is your action is in following your recipe, right? And then once your recipe is done, your friends come over and you share with them your cookies, but you know that you're only control is that you follow the recipe, but you cannot control the reactions of your friends. Some friends might love your cookies, some might think there's a spice missing, but you know that, you only take pleasure in the process of actually baking and in the process of actually sharing your creation. So that's what, I want everybody to kind of focus on what a wise person is and what a wise person does, and differentiate yourself into how you're living now so that you can become wiser. And I also wrote here that a noble person understands the importance of acting with integrity and compassion, regardless of the outcomes or responses from other people. They just do what they believe is right. And that's all it takes to be a noble person. Just do what you believe is right. And I can go a little bit deeper, but with time in this, I know we're going to have more time to go a little bit deeper. So if anybody has any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask. But yeah, this is really good. I went really deep in this.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I love how you are able to connect to many different knowledge and you share view that I have not considered before. And this is the beauty of Lit in English season 6. And thank you so much, Giovanni, for traveling with us, walk on this path in the beginning. And you are an essential part to this conversation because you bring in the Western point of view and the collective knowledge that you have gained and cultivate over time. The value that you bring to this conversation is immense. And I have never thought of the 10 type of people, but the second you mentioned the 10th person, it makes perfect sense to me. Because for me personally, that 10th person is very, very special in my heart. And that is our higher self, some people might call it. In the human structure, that would be the will to hear, the will to see, the will to speak, and the will to know, surrounded by radiant aura. It is our total karmic knowledge, affinity, and result. It is our mass of good karma, radiant karma, some bad karma. But it is something extremely, extremely pure and pure, beautiful. It is a genuine truth. It holds a lot of wisdom in there. So I really appreciate about how you mentioned the 10 type. And these 9 type of people, in a way, it is kind of like a ladder to fulfill your potential, right? Just like what you pointed out, you want to be a wise person to other by pointing out something as simple as a recipe to make a cake or a cookie. You want to be a noble person. You want to be kind to others, to be a noble person to others. And you want to be able to connect people to the whatever connection, whatever relationship that I might need. A blessed person, wonderful, because you are blessing people just simply by walking around. And you can be somebody talented person, help them with their project, whatever they are working on. And you can even be a great master to your children, and so on. So all of these are great in itself, but at the same time, it is a journey to better yourself, to fulfill your potential. And not only that, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the presentation, by recognizing these 9 type of people, we will start to see them showing up more often in our life, right? So imagine just like how, let's say, you are interested in owning a Tesla Cybertruck and you start seeing them more often. Imagine if you have more wise people showing up in your life and you're able to recognize them. Imagine that you have more noble people showing up in your life. What about more well-connected people, blessed people, talented people to help you with whatever project you are planning? What about great master who dreams so big and they recognize your talent and they want to support you in your journey. What about experts that show up in your life and simplify all of the problems that you might have had? What about teacher who can support you in producing, in expanding your business, and by educating not only you but your consumer, right? And the enlightened teacher is very special because they will help you gain true understanding of this world itself. And it is just beautiful overall to getting to know and have a clear definition of these type of people. Feel free to unmute yourself, Giovanni.
Hey, Ben, I also wanted to say that, as soon as you said like a ladder, it just clicked in my head because a ladder is like if you draw a ladder, it's like a 2D, it's in 2D space basically. So we know that everything moves in a spiral. If you were to take that ladder and then visualize it moving in a spiral, it'll look like a DNA strand, right? So what that tells me is that we already possess all of these qualities in our DNA. So the way to unlock these qualities is to have specific experiences, that opens the doors to these qualities. Because those experiences does something to our DNA. This is where emotions and our thoughts plus our action comes into play, and then that equals manifestation. So, if you really want to know how to manifest things in your life, I say teamwork makes the dream work. Think of team, TEAM, and you have thoughts plus emotions plus actions equal manifestations. So just keep in mind of, what we have inside of us is the whole of entire universe. So, we might not be born wise, but we can become wise through our actions, through our knowing, through how we study, through how we apply ourselves. And, the same thing with being noble and well connected. If you're really bad at relationships, you have the power at any minute to just change your choice and to change how you interact with other people, that you can obtain people, a network of people, but that you can also maintain that network of people. So it's an active thing. It's continuous, it's fluid, and then through that, you start to realize on a higher level, that by being wise, being noble, being well connected, now you have everything that you ever wanted in life, and you just keep getting it easier. And now you see that you become a blessed person. And then a blessed person says, okay, this is my purpose. And now they become a talented person because now they're doing something out of genuine love that makes them talented in that one, aspect. And then, over time, over practice, they become a great master. And then as a great master, you get to choose how you want to teach. Either you want to become an expert, or you just want to be, a teacher as to, a broad range, of topics. But overall, the observer wants to become enlightened. That's the whole point, is to become enlightened. And you cannot become enlightened without having, actual experiences. Either you do it by choice, or you leave it up to chance. But it's completely up to you. I would say take matters into your own hands and see, don't just believe it, but have a direct experience so that you could know it for yourself.
Beautifully. And I love the way you connect your understanding to this knowledge. And everything you said is completely right. And of course, we can see this in many layered deep. What I really like about what Giovanni said is he recognized the importance of people in our life, right? The relationship that we have and cultivate. And indeed, this presentation is about the value of people. Most of us, we were born into this world without the understanding of the importance of people. Honestly, I kind of like I can feel it in the past, but I didn't see it clearly until the wise man pointed this out to me, right? My mentor, my teacher pointed out to me this. But it is extremely important for us to be appreciative of the people around us, no matter how horrible they might look, right? The idea of this is that eventually all we see is the night types of people, right? Because let's say if someone do something unfavorable to us, or it's only appear to be unfavorable to us, instead of blaming them, judging them, we can see that, hey, maybe they are my teacher. Maybe they this lesson here that I needed to learn, right? And when someone show up and things go really well for us, and we recognize, oh, that is a black person in my life, and I need to be appreciative toward them. And just like what Dr. Tao Bashar often remind us, when you appreciate the good appreciate, and this is the power. And when you think about people, it's very interesting, because if you really thinking about it, we come to this world with very little. We might even say that we come here with nothing physically, but we receive it a lot. The moment that we come to this world, we receive a body, right? We receive the love from our parents. And in the past, I used to think that, this is my life, I get to choose what I want to do. But the truth is, even this life here it wasn't yours to begin with. It is your parent and a collective forces bring you to life. So it is a gift from the universe. The food that you eat is come from many people. That's why it say it took a village to raise a child. So it doesn't mean that raising a child going to cost a lot of resources. It literally take the entire village, as in it took a collective mass of people, 10,000 of them, million of them, to raise a child, to make a thing possible. Even a hamburger that you eat is, you needed to have money to buy. You gotta have to go to the restaurant. The restaurant need to have the worker, and then somebody need to deliver the ingredient to that restaurant. Somebody need to produce it, and there are masses of people involved in a single hamburger that you are eating. So people bring you value. That is the only way, right? You cannot keep yourself anything. Don't even let that illusion play with your mind. People gives things to you. And understanding this, when we appreciate the good we appreciate, when we appreciate people, when we recognize these amazing nighttime people around us, they will show up and they will bless you with so much gifts in your life. Right, Giovanni, feel free to admit yourself.
All right, so this kind of reminded me of something that we learned in happiness studies, but I just want to say that, this is the importance of, like, we have a saying here in the United States, like a birds of a feather flock together, right? So that kind of reminded me of what we learned in The Master of Happiness by Dr. Tao, where I think it was Alfred Adler, I think it was, who was saying the importance of acting as if. So if you are not, if you consider yourself not to be a blessed person, right? Then how do you become a a blessed person is by overcoming, the idea, this self-defeating idea that you're not a blessed person. So you start acting as if you were, and sometimes we have to think, like, what does that take to be, like a blessed person? So I wrote here that a blessed person senses, they have an experience that they sense a divine favor uh, through grace and abundance, which is beyond material possessions. So think of any blessed person that you could think of. and just act as if you were them and see how that changes your life. And you could do that with, with any of these titles, because realistically, a wise person doesn't have to be a noble person to become enlightened. So a wise person in itself can become enlightened, just like, a talented person can become enlightened. So it's a ladder, but it's not, you have to get off at this certain level in order to go up to the next level, because there's only one truth, but there are many paths to that one truth.
Mhm. Absolutely right. And of course, there are many paths that we have discussed and we will discuss in this journey. And one of the most important path is relational well-being. So in happiness study, we talk a lot about relational well-being and the very foundational idea to build a healthier relationship in the journey of understanding your inner self. We got to learn about the simple idea of seeing everyone in the night type of people. And just like what Giovanni mentioned about uh, the as if practices, you can act as if you are one of these people, and then you will understand what kind of information that they have, what kind of energy that they carry when we use the view of the triangle of reality, right? And what you said about the as if method is actually very, very powerful, because what that method does is that is imagining the material of a reality of being one of these nine people. And with that imagination, the power is that we already have that information and that energy in our total karmic result. And Plato, the famous uh, ancient Greek philosopher, he said that when we learn things, we are not learning anything new. We are relearning what we have already know. So the as if is very, very powerful, because it's assuming that we have already know it. Okay. Some people say that we pretend like we know it, but the truth is we already are it sometime in the past, in the many, many lifetime that we have had, or you can call it the information in your DNA. But the technique of being as if materialize the reality in your mind, and then it's extract the information and the energy. And that is one pathway to becoming each of these nine type of people, and then eventually you will become 6 in 1, you become 9 in 1. That's when you reach enlightenment. That's when you become awakening, and you can help others do in the same way, and to put more perspective to it. It's simply the process of elevating you to different realms of wisdom. And again, that is the foundation of the holistic wealth, foundation of the ability to stand above any problem arises in your life, to take back control of your own life. Okay. That is the introduction to the nine type of people, and I'm very happy that we are able to present the idea, to introduce the idea of it. We do have 10 minutes left, so feel free to share with us what you think. Giovanni, feel free to take advantage of this time as well, because I do believe that most people would just want to listen to you. Yeah.
I myself, I like to feed off the energy of other people. So if
Mhm.
somebody says something, I might get different ideas and might be
Okay.
compelled to talk. But
Right. But yeah, from personal experiences, um, after I have learned about these type of people, I started to notice more. I started to notice people more, and my life becoming easier and more blessed, right? Higher quality of well-connected people, see more wise people, noble people. And I start, all I see is light, I don't see darkness anymore, as in I don't see anything bad from people anymore. That lifted my soul. I feel much lighter. I see beauty all around the world. I hope that I can pass that on to everyone around me.
I just want to give an idea of how to become a blessed person really fast. It's just practice gratitude, which is just being grateful for every little thing that you have right now. Don't worry about what you had in the past or what you want in the future. Is everything that you have right now, because right now you have access to everything. That's where knowledge comes from. It's always here in the now. You don't want unlimited knowledge because that doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is all knowing, which is always here in the present moment when you know all that there is to know right now. So
Beautiful. That is actually one of the information that we will provide when it's come to the blessed person presentation, right? Exercising gratitude, because that will definitely lift up your energy. And the most important thing about practicing gratitude, especially when it's come to people and recognize the nine type of people, is imagine this, right? A blessed person, when they come in your life, you're not going to be able to recognize them. You can't tell if he or she is a blessed person or not. You can only tell the aftermath, the after effect, when they are no longer there. So the the definition and the learning about the black person is extremely important, because it tells us that we need to appreciate everyone around us, because any of them can be a black person and we don't want to lose them. They are so valuable that we can just simply need to appreciate everyone around us. And the beautiful thing about that is you can actually attract and cultivate more less people, and they can be a lot more involved in your life. And imagine having so many, like let's say 10, 20, even 100 less people around you. That energy will be massive. Again, appreciate you for looking that out.
I think Jasmine has her hand raised.
Right. Go ahead.
Yes.
Jasmine.
Thank you. I just want to add that I had a realization that I remember how important I have to look at people, not looking at them by their title, but recognize which type of uh, people they are. Just because I know of this information doesn't mean I remember. And today, by record again, or like by Ben reminding us about this nine type of people, is help me to release my emotion and my like my situation with people, um by just recognize which type they are. Because I remember that our brain master suggests that if we have tension with somebody, to view them as our teacher. They going to teach. They are here to teach us that lesson. If I cannot unhook that block with them, then somebody else going to be giving me the same lesson or even more. because they had to teach me that lesson. So by recognize that person or that situation as especially the this type of people is a people, not a being, has to be a human. So we just recognize that person as my teacher, then everything will be unhooked, will be released. Then I will be able to learn that lesson and I will no longer have to receive that lesson in my life. And so I don't have to see any more teacher who will come to give me that same lesson again. I may see other teacher, but they will teach me different type of lesson, not the same type that I am currently learning right now. So that's really important to recognize and just to view everybody as our teacher um, in this lifetime, just because they're going to come to give us a quick lesson in life and they will move on. And so, yes, so by learning about this knowledge again today, learning of this knowledge again today, it helped me to remember what I should do to overcome my just like situation, my problem in life, this is really important and powerful. Thank you again for bringing it up. Um, it's really much happy to release my energy right now. That's great. Thank you.
Love that, Jasmine. Now you can focus your energy on something more meaningful than holding on to a belief like that. So that's great.
Thanks, Jasmine. And what Jasmine said remind me of a lesson that we learned in happiness study as well. This journey is about lead up the path to happiness, well-being, and all of these are interconnected. I remember when I first learned about emotional well-being and how we have to practice or exercise right thing about negative emotion, and I was so against it, Giovanni, because for the past 18 years or even 20 years, I made up my mind that I only focus on positive things. I got tired of negative news in my life, and I focused only on the good thing, and I was so proud of myself. But when I learned about the permission to be human and how we need to let go of negative emotion, because it will still be there, right? Even when you ignore it. And I didn't understand it at first. And then later, thanks to the conversation with everyone in the MA program, I realized that we have to let go of the negative emotion so that we can receive a positive one, right? Because everything is interconnected. By blocking one negative emotion, we block out so many positive emotions that we can have. So in that way, similar to that, the connection that we have, the people that we meet in this life, there are so many wonderful people. There are so many of these nice type of people. But if we were to cut off our karma connection with one undesirable interaction with a person at that time, right? It might also mean that we lose connection to so many of the nice type of people behind that one relationship. And this is the power of compassion, right? What we discussed in the previous week, the power of gratitude, compassion, and inner peace. Gratitude is easy to understand, inner peace is easy to understand, but compassion, not too many people can understand compassion, right? Compassion is having compassion for other people, but most importantly, have compassion for yourself. So what Jasmine shared earlier really, really hit home for me. And I'm sure it hit home for many people as well, because you know what? You gotta have compassion for yourself. You have to have compassion for others, because that's will allow you to unblock that energy of masses of wonderful people in these night type of people to come to your life. So you gotta forgive that one person who bring you trouble, right? Because that might not be trouble, that's maybe just a wonderful teacher that come to present you that lesson so you can come out a better person. And I would like to leave you with that because I do want to keep this within 90 minutes as usual. And before we go, I will play a song like usual. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. And I will see you next time. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Yeah,